train your Gavin. Read those books in a blink, oh yeah. Grab yourself a hot drink cause you're watching How to Train Your Gavin.
Yep, that's me.
Hey guys, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. Today I'm going to go through the books that I'm really excited for that are coming out in 2021. And these ones are going to be all of the young adult and the adult books that are coming out. I am going to have a separate video for middle grades. I always do. I do a quarterly upcoming middle grades video. And so I will have that one coming right after this one. I'm going to go through the young adult and adult books, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. There's not a lot on this list at all. There's a lot that I don't know about, or there's a lot that I most likely have forgotten from this list. These are just ones that I guess I'm like maybe the most excited for, that I've remembered. There are a lot of like Vlogmas videos to get through, and I'm really excited because a lot of my favourite booktubers have done some upcoming 2021 releases videos. So I'm so excited to watch those. I just haven't had a chance to yet. So I bet you I'll end up watching their videos and realising there's about 100 that I've missed off. But young adult and adult books aren't really books that I read all that much of. I mainly stick to middle grade. However, I want to try and change that in 2021. I do want to read so much more adult and young adult books next year. So this is just a short list of the books that I'm really excited for. So I hope you are holding on to your knickers, because it's not really going to be that much of a great video, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, one of the ones that I'm really excited for is Bedazzled by Ryan LaSala, which is coming out on January 5th. It's described as Project Runway goes to Comic-Con, which sounds incredible. And it says it's an epic queer love story about creativity, passion, and finding the courage to be your most authentic self. Ryan is the author of Reverie, which I read last year and loved. It does follow Raffi, who has a passion for creating things, especially to do with fashion, and he's entering the biggest cosplay competition of the year. I can't wait to read it. I don't know why, but I think it's going to be hilarious because Ryan is a hilarious person on Twitter. I love following him on Twitter and seeing all the bonkers stuff he puts on. It's always so incredible. And I just think like this book is going to be such a true reflection of Ryan as a person. So I'm really excited to read that. And I'm trying to read more queer books next year as well. I've got so many things I want to do next year in terms of reading. I've got so many goals. So this is going to take one of them. I'm also excited for Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I really do love The Hate U Give and On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I think she's a phenomenal young adult writer. In this one, we are going back to Garden Heights, 17 years before the events of The Hate U Give. So this one follows 17-year-old Maverick, and he is the son of a former gang legend. He suddenly discovers that he is actually a father, and upon juggling school, he tries to go on the straight and narrow and raise a child. Now it says in the description as well that there is the murder of a loved one, so I think this one is going to hit just as hard as The Hate U Give. And if it's anything like On the Come Up and The Hate U Give, I just know it's going to be fantastically written and it's going to open my eyes. So really looking forward to reading that one. I'm also really excited to read Infinity Reaper by Adam. I'm joking, obviously I'm joking. The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon, the fourth book in the Bone Season series. I am so excited for that one. I think it's going to be incredible. I cannot wait. Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction has just finished reading it, and I want to know what she is rambling about because she won't say anything about it, but I do know that she's kind of broken by the end of it, so I need to know what that's all about. But the One Season series is set in a world of clairvoyance, but it's outlawed in our main character Paige. She is a clairvoyant and she is captured, and that is what the first book is essentially about. And I explain the series quite a lot, but at the same time I never know quite how to explain the series without giving away too much of the series, especially after I accidentally gave a big spoiler when I first ever mentioned the series and I didn't realise it was a spoiler. So I'm trying to be as vague as I possibly can with describing the Bone Season series. But this is the fourth book in that series. I really enjoyed the first three, and there is a short novella which I read as well, which you should read before book 4. So yeah, that one publishes on the 26th of January. On February 3rd, there is The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. This one is set in a West African-inspired ancient kingdom where everyone is under this oppressive patriarchal rule. I've seen a lot of people already have this, I think from book boxes, or they've just been sent proofs of it, but I am patiently waiting for it. Like, I cannot wait for it. I love the cover of it. But it says that girls are outcast by blood and warriors by choice. And I just think that's just going to be so great. It says perfect for fans of Children of Blood and Bone and Black Panther. And I love Black Panther. I really enjoyed Children of Blood and Bone. I still need to read Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which I will do, I promise. So the women of this kingdom have to bleed in order to prove their purity. But our main character, Tika, she ends up bleeding gold, which symbolizes impurity, or that she's a demon, and it sets off this whole chain of events. It just looks so good, and I cannot wait to read that one as well. I want to say that about every single book on this list. I cannot wait to read them. I need to stop saying that. On February 16th, A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas is coming out. I don't know whether to categorize this as young adult or adult anymore. I don't know how to place this series anymore. But this is the 4th book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this one will follow Nesta instead of Feyre. And I can't really say too much about it without it spoiling the original trilogy of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Just that it follows Nesta. Is that all I can really say about it? The edition that I've gotten is, I pre-ordered the Waterstones edition, and it has a deleted scene featuring the character Faysand. So like Feyre and Rhysand. And I can't wait to read that as well. I think having that deleted scene is also going to be like so good. I can't wait to read it. Hopefully it's going to be sexy, but I'm not going to be too disappointed if it's not. But yeah, that one comes out February 16th. On February 18th, we have Reaper of Souls by Rena Barron. Cannot wait. Stop saying that. It is the 2nd book in the Kingdom of Souls like series. So in the first book we follow Arya, and she's descended from a very powerful line of witch doctors, and each year she hopes to come into her powers and that she will get her magic, but it never seems to come for her. So the first book is essentially her trying to get her magic. The second book, oh god, I don't want to say what the second book's about without spoiling what happens in the first book, but actions have consequences from the first book. Can't wait to see where this one goes, especially after the way the first book ended. So yeah, I'm not saying it, but I think it's going to be a great book. And I love Rena Barron. I think she's awesome. On April 20th, Witches Steeped in Gold by Sian Smart comes out. And again, that one looks awesome. I'm just going to say it. I don't care anymore. I'm going to say it. I can't wait to read it, okay? Anything to do with witches, I cannot wait for. I love witches. They're my favourite. So this one follows 2 different characters, Arya and Jasmine. And one of them was exiled when she was younger and lives on this island. She came from a dynasty that's died out, and she lives on an island. And then we follow Jasmine, who is a daughter of this really evil self-crowned Diane. So her mother has kind of stolen like magic and royalty. So it ends up being about these 2 young women who are supposed to be enemies coming together to take down a common enemy. And there's just something about that really excites me, and I think it's going to be wonderful. I also might have butchered that synopsis, but I always will be able to explain things better when I've actually read them. That's one thing about these videos about anticipated releases. I never know fully what they're about. I just know I want to read them. I'm also so excited for What If It's Us 2, but I'm joking. I'm really not excited for that at all. God no. Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. That one comes out on May 13th. And that one is just gay graphic novel, pure romance, love, and all of that. The Heartstopper graphic novels follows Charlie and Nick, and they were just like born for each other. Like, it's just so gay and wonderful, and I love their love. I'm usually such a cynical person, but there's something about Heartstopper that makes me feel really sweet and gooey, and I don't mind the romance in Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I just think, oh, so amazing. I love their relationship. There were some interesting developments happening in Volume 3 to do with, personal development for the characters. So I'm interested to see where that leads and how it affects both Charlie and Nick. So I'm really looking forward to Volume 4. I know you can read them online, but I kind of like waiting for the bind-ups. And I love the cover for Volume 4 as well. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited for that one too. You're the One That I Want by Simon James Green comes out on the 3rd of June. It just speaks my language. Do you know how much I love Greece? I love Greece so much. the musical. I love the musical. The movie, the musical. So this one follows Freddie, and he's such a nice guy. But that has restricted him a lot, so he ends up, you know, chasing after straight boys who loves the attention but always breaks his heart. He always misses parties. He just doesn't do anything. He's just too nice. So this year, he has decided that he is going to change all of that, transform his life, be more confident, and say yes to everything, pretty much. And who knows what will happen. But apparently there is a hot guy called Zach, and honestly I love that name anyway, so. But there's a hot guy called Zach who starts showing an interest in him. So it's just it's gonna be Grease, but gay. But I don't know if it is gonna be Grease. It has the name of Grease. I don't think it's gonna be like a Grease retelling properly. I don't think it is. But it sounds like it has that transformation aspect of it, like when Sandy is like, tell me about it, stud. You know, I think it's gonna be on that kind of line of that, but I'm excited for it anyway. It just sounds fantastic. I love Simon James Green so much. He's amazing. Love him. So I'm really excited for this book so much. I think it's going to be great. Out on June 15th is Blood Like Magic by Lascelles Sambry. But I haven't heard of a book that's like this before, but it's a dark urban fantasy where the main character, she is a teen witch, and she has to sacrifice her first love in order to save her family's magic. The only problem is, our main character has never been in love before, so firstly she must fall in love and then sacrifice him. And I don't know why, but that just, it's like anti-love, but I don't know if it is. She might end up falling in love properly with him and decides to sacrifice her family's magic instead. I don't know. But I think this is just going to be such a great read. I'm really excited for it. As I said, never read anything that sounds like this before. And yeah, I love anything to do with witchcraft, as I said. So yeah, that one looks really good. And June 15th. Okay, coming out on April 1st, 2021. I've gone back because I forgot that I had this one on my list. But it is Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall. And this one has been described to me as a gothic kind of horror book, where 17-year-old Mina, she originally lived in England, she ends up moving to New Orleans, and I'd love to go to New Orleans. Mina is a huge fan of horror movies. She lived in Whitby, which is the town that inspired Dracula, but one day I think she gets this job in this haunted mansion, but one day she comes across the body of a young girl with puncture wounds in her neck, and it starts off this spiral of gothic, murderous mayhem, I think. Anyway, it sounds really good. I can't wait to read that one. And I've seen some people on Twitter already have it. I think they've got a proof of it. And I've heard some good things about it so far. So I'm really looking forward to reading more gothic, horror-y kind of young adult books next year. On August 24th, there is Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. We've got a bit of a theme here. There's another witch book on this list. Who knew? But apparently it's for fans of Us and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It is described as a witchy story full of black girl magic, and I'm here for that. So it follows Cottrell, and she can communicate with the dead. She has set up this kind of business where she allows people to come and ask for help from her so that they can talk to their loved ones. But one day, a spirit tells her to stop summoning the dead, otherwise they will burn everything down. Which is not good because she has to make a living from doing these readings. But during one of these kind of seances, I think they're called in this book. Anyway, I don't know, they might be called something else. But she accidentally raises someone from the dead. There are apparently dark forces that are closing in on our main character. So it sounds like it's going to be like really, not gruesome, but like, it just sounds like it's going to be another like gothic-y, horror-y kind of young adult book. And I'm looking forward to that, so yeah, I think that'll be really good. Okay, so last on this list, and I'm more than positive I have missed out so much on this list. There'll be so much coming out that I don't know about, or that I am excited for, but I've just forgotten to put on this list. But the last one is coming out on the 20th of October, and that is Midnight in Everwood by Maria Kuznia, and this is a Nutcracker retelling. I've been told that I might be getting a proof of it by Christmas, and if it's a Nutcracker retelling, then I am so excited to read it. I've heard it's a Nutcracker for adults. That's a bit like Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus and Stephanie Garber's Caraval. It follows Marietta, and she is a ballerina, but come the new year she will have to get married and kiss her ballerina career goodbye. However, one day a neighbour arrives and he brings with him magic. However, the magic that the neighbour has brought is a lot darker than our main protagonist could ever imagine. It says here that when he constructs an elaborate set for her final ballet performance, she discovers it carries a magic all of its own. As the clock chimes midnight, Marietta finds herself walking through a land of snow-topped fir trees, leading to a frozen sugar palace silent with secrets. In the darkness of night, magic awaits and you will never forget what you will find here. So it looks so good. It looks so good. I cannot wait to read it, and it's going to be the perfect time to read it. It's over the winter period. If I do get a proof of this one, I will be so fortunate and so happy about it because I'm so excited for it. Anyway, yeah, that is the list. I'm so sorry it's not as extensive as a lot of other people's, but there's not really a lot of young adult or adult books that I keep my eye on, to be honest. It's always the middle grade, which I do have a specific video coming for. I have enough middle grade to be excited for next year that I'm doing 4 videos over the course of a year, just like I did with the 2020 middle grade releases. So I will be doing my next video as the most anticipated middle grade releases of 2021 from January to March. So look forward to that. There's quite a lot on there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. Please leave a like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already. Do let me know in the comments if there are any great young adult or adult books coming out in 2021 that I have missed and that you are excited about. I would love to hear those. But yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!